We have been waiting for the big mega demonstration coming upon. We are from Uganda, and we are standing at 10 Downing Street with a clear message to the Prime Minister to wake up in his dead sleep and speak up about Uganda. The Prime Minister is sitting in his dreamland. He needs to wake up really on Uganda. You cannot be sending £1 billion to Uganda with no accountability. 1 billion goes to Uganda every year, and that money is going to the drain. That money should be helping our pensioners here. That money should be going to the homeless brothers and sisters who are sleeping in the streets of London and other towns around the country. The £1 billion should be helping our veterans who fought for democracy and human rights in this country. Then that money to be sent to Uganda with no accountability. Coming to Uganda, for those who don't know Uganda, is a small, beautiful, rich country in East Africa with a population of 50 million Ugandans, but we've been hijacked and ruled by the longest brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda for the last 42 years. And that is the double standard of the UK government led by Starmer, our Prime Minister. We are calling on the Prime Minister to stand with the people of Uganda in condemning the longest brutal dictator on earth, a dictator from Uganda by the name of Museveni. The brutal dictator came to power, most of us were young. That was the time of Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher, she's gone. We've changed 13 prime ministers in the UK, but in Uganda, Ugandans are still living under the same brutal dictator, Museveni. Why are we talking about the UK? The UK supported this brutal dictator to come to power. This brutal dictator was a warlord. He was a rebel in the World Triangle. And the UK supported him with arms, ammunition, and name it. Up to now, after 45 years, the UK is still supporting the longest brutal dictator on earth, Museveni of Uganda. The Prime Minister should speak up about the injustice in Uganda. The UK being the mother of democracy in the world, the UK Prime Minister should be ashamed that he has kept silent on Uganda. The Prime Minister should be ashamed for letting the human rights in Uganda be abused by the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda. The Prime Minister should be ashamed that 42 years in power does not represent democracy around the world. And still the Prime Minister condemns Maduro Venezuela, a dictator who was in power for 13 years. The UK called him a dictator. Yes, he was a dictator. But why they cannot call Museveni, a 42-year brutal dictator in power, a dictator? That was standard by the UK government, led by Starmer, our Prime Minister. We as Ugandans, we condemn the brutal dictator of Uganda, Museveni. And we are calling the Prime Minister to do the same, to condemn and stop the financial muscle they give to this brutal dictator. We call on the UK to stop the training of militias from Uganda, because when they go back to Uganda, they are raping Ugandans. They are sodomizing men in Uganda. Rape in Uganda is a form of torture. And we don't want to believe that when they come to UK for their training, they have been trying to go back and rape Ugandans. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
And this is the message we are sending to the Prime Minister of the UK, Mr. Keir Starmer, that he should stop the military cooperation between Uganda and the UK.
Yeah.
The UK stands for human rights and democracy. The brutal dictator in Uganda believes in dictatorship. We are the victims of the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda. I want to mention this. When you talk about immigrants, we are the immigrants. But why are we here? We are here because of the foreign policy of the UK government. You support brutal dictators around the world. You arm them. You support them. And when they commit crimes against humanity, you don't condemn them. We run away. We come to the UK and we are called immigrants. Some of us, we've been in the UK for over 30 years. Some are 20 years. Some are 15. Some are 40 years as we stand in this group. But still, we talk about our ancestors in Uganda who are being tortured, who are being murdered by the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda. We are calling on the UK, our government, to stop the funding of the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda. That £1 billion sent to Uganda every year is being used to rape Ugandans. It's being used to sodomize men in Uganda. When we talk about the aid to Uganda, the UK should stop to send military patrol cars, because those military patrol cars are being used to kidnap Ugandans on a daily basis. When we talk about aid, to be in the form of ambulances, not military patrol cars. The aid to Uganda should not be armed, should be building schools and hospitals, and not death torture chambers. The £1 billion goes to Uganda to facilitate and to enable the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda, long stay in power. 42 years I repeat is more than enough. Most of you walking past us, you are not yet born. In Uganda we live under the longest dictatorship around the world. If Putin of Russia is a dictator and he has been in power for 27 years, why Museveni of Uganda is not a dictator and he has been in power for 42 years? We are the Ugandans in the UK. We condemn the UK for bringing Museveni to Uganda. We are the Ugandans. We still condemn the foreign policy of the UK towards the Ugandans. You cannot call the 42-year brutal dictator to be a Democrat. You are playing business, as you call it. It's a business partner. But what is that business you are talking about? Is it the gold in Uganda? Uganda sits on the largest deposit of gold in the world. We have petrol, oil, we have uranium, name it. All the minerals in the world you hear, they are valuable in Uganda. We don't want to believe that the UK has decided to forget Ugandans in the name of business. We as the Ugandans will still condemn the UK for carrying out the black diamond business with Uganda. When the war was raging in Sierra Leone, the UK imposed sanctions on the present government, which was in Sierra Leone. Why Uganda is being led by a brutal dictator and the UK is silent? Is it because of our gold from Uganda? Is it because of our oil from Uganda that the UK is quiet on the human rights abuses in Uganda? The lack of democracy, while the UK is the father and the mother of democracy in the world, while they're silent on Uganda. We call on the Prime Minister to speak up about Uganda, that 42 years is more than enough. We can see our friends next to us. They're telling us that we have to be together, we unite, we love, and let us hope that one day the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda will be gone. But how is he going to be leaving that power? The UK stands responsible in removing the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda, because they don't power in Uganda. They forced Museveni on Uganda. They forced the strongest brutal dictator Museveni on Uganda. And we are calling the UK to take their man away from Uganda. You can bring him here, or you can send him to live in Scotland like the rest of the dictators. People power.
Our power.
Our power. And this is the double standard of this great nation. We don't want to believe that this great nation plays the double standard when it comes to Uganda. The question is, why is Uganda? Countries like Kenya, the neighboring countries, are enjoying democracy. Tanzania, they enjoy some little democracy. But why Uganda does not enjoy democracy like other countries around our neighbors? We are calling on the UK to stand with the 50 suffering million Ugandans in condemning that enough is enough and Museveni must go.
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 It's a shame that the UK still pumps £1 billion to Uganda. It's only in Uganda where we don't have no functioning hospitals.
Yeah.
The first coming of the brutal dictator, they used St. Thomas Hospital for medical tourism. After 42 years of financial muscle aid by the UK, that would be £42 billion to Uganda. But they cannot even afford to build even a decent hospital like St. Thomas. St. Thomas does not take over £10 billion to build. But Museveni has received over £42 billion from the UK alone. Museveni has received $42 billion in the 42 years. Museveni has received every year 380 million euros from Europe. But still in Uganda, we don't have no schools, we don't have no hospitals, we don't have no roads, and that is democracy for you in Uganda. And the UK is quiet. That £1 billion I repeat should be helping our homeless brothers and sisters to get a shelter, where to live. We have a lot of our brothers and sisters who are sleeping in the streets of London and the other parts of the UK. That £1 billion to be used to help our pensioners and the veterans. What of these policemen I see in front of me? They don't have a good wage. That £1 billion can be compensated. Let our policemen who look after us that night get a good wage. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Thank you. We are here for the whole day and we'll try to expose the double standard by the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, that he should speak up about Uganda injustice, about Uganda lack of human rights, about abuse of power, about the lack of justice in Uganda. Thank you. Give me that big mic, let me know for my please.
Yeah, it's going to be a contribution.